I think I fixed it. I'm not sure. You guys will have to tell me if it's any better. Well, that's a plus. Hooray! Yeah, none of this is shiny. I have just started streaming earlier this week, so nothing is shiny at all. And my storyboard is very rough. Aww. I had cheesecake for breakfast. So what I am doing is working on the storyboard, or the very beginnings of like a visual outline for the new video. I haven't odd quality is set to I haven't gotten too far into it because I keep looking at surface mappers and all I can think is just circle the craters. And I went through the older stuff on the forums. I looked at a couple older tutorials, and some of them were very specific. Yeah, I forced it that way. Yay! I'm glad it looks better for you, Peter. I do have dual monitor setup at work, which is why you will see me looking over there, because I only have one camera. Oh. Okay, that works too. But yeah, I'm assuming some of you guys have done surface mapping and 2 cameras and 3 monitors. Oh my. So we have this gorgeous Cintiq over at the other desk, and I don't have room on this desk to put it on, but the Cintiq acts like a 3rd monitor. So I could have that, and then I could have 2 other monitors. But the Cintiq's a little weird for me, and I don't know if I'm quite ready to switch desks. You literally draw on the Cintiq surface, and I'm like, whoa, what? What? So it's fun. But yeah, I keep going back to just circle the craters. And this is supposed to be like a 4-minute video, and part of me is like, I can't just put 30 seconds of just circle the craters. But I really don't know what else to do. I've thought about, we tossed around the idea of playing around with equating craters to potholes, and because potholes, as I have discovered, are fairly universal. Anywhere there's a road, doesn't matter the surface, and water, you can get a pothole. I live in Northeast Ohio, so potholes are a fact of life for me. New gorgeous road, just been paved like a year or so ago, and it's already terrible looking in some places. So, it's just one of those things, I guess. I remember being out in California and thinking that I saw a sign that was all, invest in our roads, help our road quality, and I'm looking at their highways and like, your highways are gorgeous, your side roads are gorgeous, there are no potholes here, what is wrong with you? What do you mean you have terrible roads? So I guess it's all relative. Oh, thank you for reposting that, Peter. That's what my friends in California keep telling me. That the roads are awful, but I was only in Sacramento and, the Bay Area, San Francisco. And I didn't drive anywhere. The person I was staying with had a stick shift. Anywhere you cannot sit safely down is a bad road. But, like, I walked and took the bus, so just kind of similar to what I do here. Just walk and take the bus. Aw, I don't know when I'll be able to get out to SAC again. I had a good time when I was out there. It's definitely weird. On my Facebook, it's not public, but on my Facebook, I took a bunch of pictures of very Californian things. And because my trip was about a year ago, and these pictures are popping up again. And I'm seeing things like bags of oranges that we just got from a roadside vendor, all the various different kinds of tofu, like a cooler full of tofu. Yeah, the Governor. Yeah, they made sure to take me by, they made sure to take me by the governor's mansion that was used, I think, when the governor was there. I got to spend some time in Old Sac. I actually did a kind of a light pollution survey, and I have some gorgeous photos from IHOP that I have not finished processing because I took all sorts of, I'm digging around for logos right now so I can just add stuff instead of being like, here's a placeholder. Yeah, I took the 360 camera and the, oh, this is not at all what I want. I took our 360 camera and I took our DSLR with a fisheye lens. So, we're just pointing up the sky. and I have some gorgeous nighttime shots. And it was kind of funny because there were a couple places where, like one place we accidentally were on private property from Google Maps. It just looked like a country road. It wasn't until we pulled up that it's like, oh, there's a gate here. But we went on just the inside of the gate, set up my equipment, took pictures, and the guy was like, oh yeah, you know, you get great photos out here. There's hardly any light. And I'm looking at the horizon, and I'm like, this is not dark. This is not dark at all. At all. So, that was a fun thing. I should probably finish those. Yes. Yeah, the weird thing to me, like another one of the sites that we picked that was probably kind of out in a way was like abandoned, like starts of abandoned housing developments. Like there would just be like these nice big roads and it would just go into the end and be like blocked off. Yeah. I'm searching in vain for these logos. I know they exist. 66. That is not it. Graphics. I wanted the vector, but I guess we'll have to do without the vector. Yeah, I thought about it, but my friend was working and you know, he couldn't get that kind of time off. I'd like to. Not sure what you're. Drag this off to the side. Years ago, when I was getting ready to deploy to Kuwait, I remember we were all excited because, hey, it's a desert. It's not going to be, you know, the skies are going to be decent at night compared to here, which never happens. Oh wow, that is way too large. And they keep the base all lit up at night, and like I'd see the moon. It was like being in Hong Kong. It was so bright. Ooh, I bet that is nice. Right now I live in the city, so you know, light pollution. My parents live a little bit further out, so the light pollution isn't as bad. But I've been fortunate to go places where it's decently dark. There's places within a couple hours drive that are decently dark at night. And I spent all of my undergrad working in a planetarium, so I am really spoiled. I am very, very spoiled. I'm just always amused when people are like, hey, yeah, it's so dark out here. It's so nice. You can see everything. I'm like, can you see the Milky Way? Because if the answer is no, you can't see the Milky Way, then it's not dark enough. And when I was up at IHOP, which I wish I remember where exactly that was, I was able to see the Milky Way. Ew. Mainly London that has major pollution issues here now, and I am 250 miles away. Ew. Like that. The Milky Way is really far away. It's like seeing further than a couple of towns. How realistic is that? Oh my. Oh my. I remember the first time I saw it, I was in Brazil, in a small town. Not a whole lot of lights at night. This was like, gosh, like 12 years ago. And I looked up and remember seeing this cloud thing. I'm like, what is that? Like, I'm already looking up at an alien sky because, you know, we're in the northern hemisphere, so all of our star shows that I'm familiar with are ones that, like the fall and the winter sky, I'm good. But I'm not familiar with the southern hemisphere. So I was already looking up at an alien sky. I'm like, what is that thing? So that was an experience. Milky Way at my local shop. Milky Way bars. Right next to the Mars bars. I am still amused by the water on Mars thing. Oh, look, there's some water on Mars. Nope, 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 that's not at all what I wanted to do. So have you guys done any of the surface mapping things? There's that and that. Just a few minutes of it. Do you remember if you had to redo the tutorial or if the UI, because I remember doing it ages and ages ago and things were very confusing, and it looks like things got a lot better, a lot more intuitive, I guess. Is there anything you wish that you knew about it that would have helped you with mapping stuff out? that's just going to be yellow, and I'm going to have to deal with it. Yeah, they actually don't really mention it at all, even in the tutorial. It's just circle the large craters. The circle does get... Yes. And I'm going to talk to Pamela about that. Yes, people have different resolutions, different mice sizes as well. Cursor sizes. And the images, actually, believe it or not, are not all at the same scale. Some of them are more zoomed in than others. I read on the forums that, yes, some have rats. Some have poop, apparently. Oh, some have rat. Oh, yeah, I got it for mice. Yeah, no, some of the images are, like, have way different, scales. And I remember that being a thing on the, forums. Like, people were wanting to know how large an item was that they were looking at, and I guess it skewed things for the for data collection. So maybe a minimum scale metric on picture. Yeah, I don't think... Here, right here, click and drag from the edge until the crater is highlighted by green. If the circle is red, the circle is too small. I just thought there was a problem with what I was doing. Nope. Nope. They don't... Yeah, and this is something I'm going to vidcap and, like, actually visually... It's okay. This is yellow above a blank thing where I've just zoomed over it back and forth. So no, nobody's going to see that. But that is something I'm going to vidcap because I think it is important to show during the video that this is how big it is to be. So yeah, it doesn't really... Part of me is like, it doesn't really matter what your resolution is. It doesn't really matter what your cursor size is, because that red circle... if you do the red circle... Actually, let's see if I can pull up the mapping thing real quick to show you. CosmoQuest. If you do a circle and it is too small, it will... Come on, start mapping. Close. Actually, we'll just pop this out. Bring this over here. And that should catch it. Yeah, it caught it. So, because I'm logged in, it's not bringing up the tutorial, but see some of these itty bitty really tiny ones? If you go and try to circle them, the circle's red. And if you release, the circle goes away. Meanwhile, with like this crater, if you get it just under the size, it's red. But if you get it more closer to the proper size, it should be green. It'll turn green. But one of the articles I had remembered reading was that there were actually too many craters being circled. People were circling, really small ones that, for whatever reason, I don't know why they're not counted, why we don't circle them. It may have to do with the scale of things. But for whatever reason, people were circling all of these tiny, tiny, tiny craters, and they're not to be circled. I don't have really an answer. Let's see if he'll give me another image. Oh, and it's not submit, it's image done. It's something I need to update. But, yeah, like, all of these, because people were trying to mark all of them, they were marking too many craters instead of just enough. People were probably worried about not circling enough craters. Like this one I just circled was probably wrong. They wanted to make sure that they were doing the best they could. They're helping, like beating on a table with a plastic hammer. But yeah, apparently people were circling too many images and the small ones just got tossed out. So that is that. But yeah, the little red circle I think is helpful. Yes. And they got rid of that, actually. That was... I remember that being a thing, and it's shown in older tutorials. They've totally gotten rid of it. Most of the images that I came across actually look like there's craters. Like I would really have to just click through to find one where it was like, oh, this looks weird. Oh. I think it might just be you, Peter. I think it's just Peter. And we're going to change this to click image done. As much as I'm like, clicking submit, I'm going to change this. Yay! Glad to see you made it back. And because it just says not submit, but done, we're going to change that. Although I think it's cute that it says image done instead of submit. Have you guys played Exploding Kittens? Do you know what Exploding Kittens is? Yes. So, Phoenix, you are probably familiar with the tutorial video. Pamela was all, hey, do you know of Exploding Kittens? I own a game, unfortunately unopened. But yeah, I know Exploding Kittens. Alright, you know their tutorial video? I want that. More or less. So, I don't think I have it up anywhere, but I actually sat down for science and research and watched that tutorial video a gazillion times and marked out what they did, which is why I keep coming back to just circle the craters is, to me, is the whole just don't blow up. And I think it'll be fine. I think it'll work out. But there's also the part of me that's like, alright, cool, we're circling craters. Do I go in and explain why we're circling craters? Because the game goes, you know, the tutorial goes into all these different mechanics of the game, and creator circling doesn't have all these mechanics so much as it is, oh, here's some extra stuff. Like, oh, you can mark rocks, you can mark crater chains. I'm actually probably gonna have to bring that back up to see what else I can mark. I think on the moon people kept marking poop. Yes, poop. Back up. At the moon. And I'm not covering Image Detective in this because Image Detective is its own beast in this tutorial. There we go. Because it's just easiest to do that. But like over here, mark a concentric circle. Mark a crater chain. I think it's supposed to be rocks. A mark a boulder, rock stool, and critter ejecta, which I think might just be disabled for the moon. So yeah, instead of all these exploding kitten mechanics, we have the concentric craters, the crater chains, the boulder tool, or mark a boulder, and rocks. Actually, make that a note down in my other thing. My little outline that I'm kind of working from. So other tools are the concentric, I can't spell, concentric, oops, crater, the crater chain, mark a boulder, and the rocks tool, which I don't know how to use the rocks tool. I don't think I've ever had that opportunity. So that will probably be something maybe worth noting. Other things worth noting on here would be the zoom window, which I guess people have found handy for really getting those edges. Oh shoot, that's a concentric. We don't want that. Yeah, I guess people have, you know, found the zoom window handy. I find it distracting. Showing your marks versus hiding them. I guess that's just a toggle. Show hide marks and the zoom window. And the creator examples off to the side. Minimize this. Now it's like, but wait, there's more. Back to this. might meet with Pamela later today to show her what I've done. So I'm not sure how much of this she's seen. So I almost anticipate words being changed, but if you guys have seen the like please hold video for the Twitch stuff, how to use it, I don't know, and that's why I'm not sure if it's still why it's still there. That is something that I will write down because I didn't make any of these UI decisions. I've never used the Zoom ever. I'm not entirely too sure why it's there. I don't know if they even have data on how much it's used. Why is there a Zoom if we're not marking small craters? I think in one of the older tutorial videos that I watched, it was being used so you could mark the very, very edge of the crater. But I don't know if that's all that important, honestly. For me, it zooms too much in. Like, I want to be able to see the entire thing I'm circling, not just an edge. Why is there a zoom feature? So it might be to, to do that precision edge thing, but I think most users get better about marking the more they do it, because I believe they want you to get just the outer rim. But if you're circling the crater, what else are you going to circle? Are you going to circle the entire thing? Oh shoot, what if that actually does happen? I need a small child to test this with. I might have to find a small child to test this with. But I think really overall, I mean, as long as you get close, it doesn't matter, because all of these inputs get, from my understanding, all these inputs get taken in and averaged together, and they are, we've shown that users doing this, the casual user doing this, is pretty much just as good as a trained professional, and B, you get all of this data, and the more samples you have, the better it is. And we're still better at doing it than computers. I don't think the latest algorithm does all that great of a job. I know that, is it Matt? I think it's Matt that's working on an algorithm that actually layers these, puts these sub pictures back into the larger pictures. And his algorithm's okay for matching. It does an okay job, but I'm not too sure how it would do if it didn't have all of these additional user marks. I'm going back to writing out my note about the zoom feature. Because I will have to remember that for later. That is a very good question. And I'm not, also with these other tools, on the moon, I haven't necessarily used the concentric craters. I think that's maybe more of a Mercury thing, but all the tools are the same throughout the projects. Pull this back up. So that was the moon that I showed you. Go back. Mars, same tool set. And this is exactly why I have in the tutorial right now, look at the picture. Do you see a crater? I don't see a crater, so I'm going to click image done. Simply because I don't know what's going on. I'm just going to keep clicking image done until I see a crater. Let's see, the zoom even, maybe it would help with that. I don't know. So yeah, Mars has the same as the moon. I believe Mercury has the same. Just do this. Mercury has the same set. Vesta, same set. So they really did unify the UI, user interface, for all of these surface mapping projects. So they all have the same set of tools, which makes it easier on their end, makes it easier to make a tutorial video, because it really doesn't matter which surface you're doing, you have all the same tools, you're looking for similar things. And I really do think the priority is craters. That's why I was. And notes on how to read my storyboard, because I'm sure it makes zero sense to anybody but me right now. This is in Adobe After Effects. I'm doing this to make my life easier later. I can essentially take these assets and import them into probably After Effects to animate them. And by having everything set up here, I don't have to recreate any of my graphics. But the yellow text above is essentially what I envision the script being read off as the card or scene or whatever pops up, and white at the bottom is really, it's notes to myself, it's notes on how things are going to be animated. Right now, a lot of them just say text can pop up all at once or as it's spoken, and add a graphic, because still in the early stages of doing this. This is not what I went to school for, and I am okay with that. Yeah, I have the right screen up, I think. Yeah, this is not what I went to school for, and I'm okay with that. It's fun. I'm enjoying it. I have a weird skill set anyway. So things like doing a storyboard and writing a script and etc. are new. And that's kind of scary, but also kind of awesome, because Pamela's like, here, make a thing. Go. Okay, I'll go make the thing. I got my degree in computer science. And the Army also trained me in, I was also a musician in the Army, and I was also a paper pusher when I was deployed. I have a very weird skill set. And I have, you know, of course there's the photography, which is also self-taught. I've had people be like, why didn't you just go to art school? I'm like, spoiler alert, I can't draw. Computers are the way for me, which is actually how some people at Pixar feel about all this. Loaded and commented on this image. Yes! I have it at home. I have it at home. I participated in the Kickstarter. It's at home. I haven't opened it. Maybe we'll do that tonight. Boyfriend's off tonight. Tomorrow? So, could be all like, hey, want to play a card game? But yes, it is totally training material. I really do like what I get to do here, because it's like, oh, you're watching this really obscure thing. Why are you watching Monty Python at work? Because I need to be able to emulate Monty Python. I can't spell. Things like, why are you playing Exploding Kittens? Because I'm doing a thing. Oops, right over here. No. There we go. Marker boulder, crater chain, concentric crater, rocks tool. Come on. There we go. I am totally going to talk to Pamela tonight about, like, hey, should we have why we're doing this in here? I'll scroll down in a second to show you what I have. I'll make that prettier later. Oh no! Get back here. Like, here are, at the very bottom, here are slides I made that I'm not sure if they're going to be used. And on all of my outlines, like, I come back to, like, okay, I've explained how to do it. Now it's like, why are we doing this? So, because it's all like, I'm teaching you how to do a science. I'm like, okay, how is this a science? How does this help anything? Maybe that's just how I am, why I ask things like that. But yeah, so far it's like, okay, the slide's all, why? How is this a science? And a bunch of question marks. So it'll probably just be, if I use the slide, pop, 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 pop. And then, you know, the next slide over is like, no, really, how is this a science? And that's where I'm like, okay, do we talk about, because each one of these surface mapper projects kind of has a different goal. Same overlying goal is to make a better map, but the differences for how the maps are going to be used are a bit like Lunar. like assuming the X Prize was still happening, would be, okay, we need to save our rovers, start a Save Our Rover campaign. Mercury is, they're trying to figure out what happened when. Vesta's weird, so they're just trying to figure out WTF. And Mars is kind of a slash of Save Our Rovers and where should we do science next? And I don't know if these things are worth mentioning. Oh, hush. I don't know if these things are worth mentioning. I don't know if it matters. But I like the visual of resonates with the audience. I just now flipped that up. I had OBS up on top. Yeah, because I also kind of going on the assumption that the audience is, you know, kind of like people like us. Like, they're enthusiastic about science. Maybe not necessarily trained properly, but we want to do a science. I do know that, you know, Pamela wants the video to be entertaining. I do know that, actually, I believe in this, yeah, she wanted it to be, she wanted the video to be funny, entertaining, and get spread around because of that. I don't know exactly who the intended audience is. I'm just going with like a general younger, modern day audience. Like, I'm for sure my 83-year-old grandfather isn't part of this audience because he doesn't even know how to use a computer. But I'm assuming the audience is anyone that can use a computer. I think there's still a smartphone app. So, computer with web access or smartphone with web access, which is actually more common. And, you know, bored, want to, you know, do something to help out, pass the time. I don't know. These are things that I'm going to talk to Pamela about later. Because, like, this very bottom thing is like, scientists need your help. That'll be appealing to some people, and that'll be like, nah, to others. And I know to appeal to different groups that different things are going to be, you know, needed to be done. So, yeah. It's a little, I'm going on like general planetarium audience thing. You know, interest in science, want to do something to help. And I know they want return users. It doesn't have to be somebody that comes in and maps like a bunch of critters all in 1 week. No, I know they want users that come back week after week after week. Only do like 1 or 2, 3 or 4 in a session and just move on. Not just do essentially binge cratering. I know a couple of users have done that and they've been very helpful to the project, but I know they want more long-term users. And science is still intimidating to people. I think if I was actually able to get like my boyfriend's employees to do this, I think that would be my goal, because that's, you know, general public, not necessarily bachelor's degrees, associate degrees. That's who I'd like to pull in. I think that's who because they can do this kind of science. That's the thing. I don't really think there is anything that would, other than doing something to kill time for a couple minutes. I mean, yeah, there's a... Oh, I see what you're... yeah, there's achievements on the site, but not everybody likes doing things for fake internet points. I should really have this on vibrate. Not everybody likes doing things for fake internet points. I can see, like, my nephew doing this to humor me. Yeah, you're right. But not everybody's on Reddit. Like, I can see my nephew doing this. I can see families that come to the planetariums. Yeah. And I don't think there's really a way to see other users or to really interact with other users other than, like, yeah, I marked some things. Like, I know I can view my own stats, but I don't know how to view anybody else's stats. Yeah. Becoming popular among friends, then forming a bond. That would be cool. I don't know if that's beyond the scope, but that would be cool. Our team is, yeah. When I was donating CPU time, it was always like, how am I stacking up against everybody else? Capture the crater? I like that. Oh, I like that. Like, how am I stacking up against everybody else? How is my team doing? Oh, yeah, like, with like, BOINC, the distributed computing, like, I could see how my CPU time was benefiting, but this, I think there's more disconnect. It's like, how does this benefit? Like, I had to dig to find some of this stuff. So, more notes. Teams, because teams would be cool. And I'm totally amused by Capture the Crater, because now I have an image of a rover just, like, planting a flag in the middle of a crater. Which would be hilarious. Eddie Izzard. No. That might be something that I know but don't know. Okay. And I ran out of... Oh, it's okay. That's fine. I'm all scribbling away over here. You have a flag. Oh my gosh. For research. For research. Yeah, maybe some of these answers are on the blog, and I just don't know that they're on the blog. Alright, So for anybody else out there,
we stole countries. That's how you build an empire. We stole countries with the cunning use of flags. Yeah. Just sail around the world and stick a flag in. I claim India for Britain. And they go, you can't claim us, we live here. 500 million of us. Do you have a flag? We don't need a bloody flag. It's our country, you bastard. No flag, no country. You can't have one. That's the rules that I've just made up. And I'm backing it up with this gun that was lent from the National Rifle Association. That was it, you know. And Queen Victoria became Empress of India. She never even fucking went there, you know? She was one of our more frumpy queens. They're all frumpy, aren't they? Because it's a bad idea when cousins marry. Bottom of the gene pool, you know, you're just scraping the barrel there. Haven't got enough for any more you royals there, sorry. First rule of genetics, spread the genes apart, you know. But the royals are just obsessed with it. Are you a royal family? Are you a royal member? Well, then you can marry me because you're the same gene pool and our IQs will go down the toilet. Fantastic. That's why there's no, you know, crazy royals. They're all kind of, hello, hello, what do you do? You're a plumber. What on earth is that? So, yeah. And the Second World War, after the Second World War, that's when all the empires sort of dissolved. And we came first in the Second World War, but we were financially fucked by the end of the Second World War. Because there was a period of time, it was just us and the Nazis. And they'd been making weapons for ages. They had a head start. We were going, get the tanks out, we haven't got any tanks, get that ice cream van out there, get it out there. Kill. All right, oh, fuck it. Fuck off. Everything, just throw everything at them, just... That's not hard. Orange fruities and zooms. Throw the zooms. Fuck off, you bastard. Pots and pans. Get pots. Just throw the pots and pans at them. So by the time America came in, because you were watching a U.S. cavalry film, because the U.S. cavalry always comes in just towards the end of the film. Okay, let's go, America. Ah, I love the smell of Europe in the morning. So, how you doing? And we were going, fucking hell, where have you been? Having breakfast. So, what's going on, hey? So,
alrighty then. Do you have a flag? Alright. Kind of just set that aside for later, because this is hilarious. This is hilarious. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. Okay. But yeah, I mean, actually, while I'm thinking about it, let's go to the blog and see if, oh, there's more? Aha! There are notes on the blog about about the science. They are just not obvious. Interesting. What, you're interesting? Are you the author? yeah, so these blog entries are not at all anywhere near the landing pages. So that makes, I think there's a bit too much of a disconnect. So I'll read the blog, and I'm bad. I don't read the blog. But okay, cool. So there is something there. Tape these two together. Do I have tape? I do not have tape. I don't even have glue. Oh, I do have glue. Do you have a flag? Alright. For more research. Where is it? No. Come on. Pop out.
Drag and drop.
Yeah.
It's perfect. Hi, I'm Kurt Hosenbeck.
National Rifle Association. But we play bad guys. Like, take The Empire Strikes Back from the Star Wars trilogy. And the Death Star. The Death Star just full of British actors opening doors and going, oh. What is it, Lieutenant Sebastian? It's just the rebels, sir.
Yeah, my dad made sure to introduce me to things like Monty Python and
My God, man!
Red Dwarf.
Do they want tea?
But Eddie Izzard is new to me. I'm not complaining.
Something more than that, sir. I don't know what it is, but they brought a flag.
I'm not complaining.
Damn, that's dash cunning of them.
Do you have a flag? Alright. Now that I have my notes all stuck together. BBC Network might be a cable only thing. The backwards planet. I love Cat. I used to be able to rewatch the episodes and such on Netflix, but they took that away. So now when I'm like, oh yeah, watch Red Dwarf, people in the US are like, but where do I watch it? What is QI? Alright, Peters, what's QI? That's gotta be a British TV show thing. Great show! Spotty hippie. Is this from QI?
Anyway, the point is, what you do, right, is in the supermarket, right, you know, you get them self-service checkouts, right? And what you can do, as you can bleep the stuff yourself, you know, bleep, bleep, bleep. What I like to do is, as I'm doing that, I like to time it to pretend that I'm on TV and I'm swearing too much. Yeah, I like to go, oh, you bleep, why the bleep? I'm gonna bleep with your bleep, and if your mum bleep, I'll bleep her right bleep up the bleep with a bleep, bleep, and you can bleep and go bleep yourself, you bleep, bleep, bleep. Bastard. So that with a scanner. But the best one to do for hijinks, right, is just get your fellas, this is, right, get your wife, girlfriend, partner, life partner, right, and just whatever you want, right, hostage. Somebody on the
A TV channel called Dave. I can see it.
I can't believe I'm doing observational comedy about taking hostages. And the fact that you're all going, oh, it's funny because it's true. It's actually people clap. It is true. A partner's handcuffed. No, so what you do, right, get your missus to, get her to do that, the bleeping, right? And then what you do, right, is just here, right? Get your plums out. Right? Just here, trust me, it's worth it, right? It's probably best to do this, like, during the 24-hour...
It's not that difficult to understand.
You know, 5 o'clock on a Saturday, not so much, right? Just get your plums out, right? And she'll be with the item, she'll be like that.
Keep this yawning up, I might have to go home early,
Make sure
or
she's
what I
already
was
done
planning.
the tinned goods first, right? Because what you're going to do is, yeah, you want to wait till she's got bread and soft items, because place your balls on this bit here, where all the stuff's going, right? Just rest it there, right? And then at some point, something won't scan and she'll chuck it in, right? And it's the perfect, it'll be time perfect, it'll just go like that. Instead of a bleep, it just goes like that. And the machine will go, unauthorized item in the bagging area. And you just go, oh, sorry, love, sorry. And then just stare at the machine and go, how does it know? Or along the same vein, if you're particularly up for it and there's really no one around, what you can do is go to the fruit section, right? Get a nice punnet of plums, right? And just rip off the barcode, right? And then just stick it on the bottom of your boat. I'll swipe, right? And then do a few
I'm kind of glad I don't have this on the main menu, or main window.
Look, blip, like that, and the best thing is, the machine goes, plums, like that.
Oh, jeez. That is pretty amazing, though. All right. Got another Fitbit warning of, hey, get up and walk. So, of course I can. I speak his dialect. And I had all of this nice and perfectly, you know, put together, and what is this, line 3? And I've totally borked my organizational, but that's okay. Aluminium and lever, that's all I can think when I realize somebody has like a British accent. Aluminium and lever, and I think it's garage. My OChem professor is from the UK. I had 2 semesters of lecture, 2 semesters of recitation with him. I spent decent amounts of time in his. Hello.
Checking on the port.
Oh.
One I set up a long time ago.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what I labeled it.
Oh, yeah. I have no idea what you labeled it.
Yeah, I think they're on there. They're written on there. No, they're not. Of course.
Oh.
Why would I do that? Why would I not do that? Okay, just be positive. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Nope. There we go. Hazards of leaving your office door open. People just wander in. Okay. So, oh my gosh, I'm streaming from all over the flowers. Alright, so I think I've reached a stopping point, and I can't stop yawning, which is not a good thing. So I am going to get offline, check with my supervisor here, and show him what I've done, because I don't think he's even seen what I've done lately. And, yeah. Go do that. Probably go home, get ready to chat with Pamela later. Thanks for all of your input. That's seriously helpful. And all of my little notes together. And hopefully, oh, you're welcome. It's just, part of me is like, I'm doing boring stuff, but I know you guys are very enthusiastic fans. So, and it's nice to at least have somebody to chat with while I'm doing this kind of mind-numbing work. Boring is more fun with banter. Yes, oh my gosh, it is so much more fun. Instead of like, okay, I'm stuck, now what? Be like, hey, so yeah. But yeah, thanks guys for watching and keeping me company, and I'm gonna pop smoke, and I will let you guys know when I guess I'll post in here or in Hangouts when I'm streaming again. I don't think it'll ever be a regular scheduled time like the others, because I work when I work. Alright, so until next time, bye!